Hey, Colby.
Yeah, Barry.
You know I once knew a guy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's such a dumb thing, but I was like, why is that even a line? What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the third movie of Dump Month movies.
Yeah.
Right? If you guys don't know, we are doing 2 full straight months of Dump Month movies that we think are awesome.
Right. And if you didn't know, if you haven't been listening, dump movies are basically movies that the I guess the studios didn't think are going to really fit or make money or whatever. So they just kind of stick them out there in January and February and just
hope and pray.
Yeah.
That's also, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the Grudge remake came out in January. I'm really sad about that one.
Right, because you got the Christmas blockbuster season, and then you got the summer blockbusters, and then between that, you just like, well, we got to have something come out.
Oh, but yeah, I think I think after December, everyone is just like super burnt out on like holiday stuff, and then they have to get to the gym for their New Year's resolutions, right?
Right.
If you guys didn't know where the quote from the beginning of this episode was from, it is from the very confusing John Dies at the End. So, I mean, unfortunately, me and Colby were talking before we started the episode. There is no way to do this.
It's a very non-linear movie.
Yeah. It is almost like Memento.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be a difficult movie to do as well.
Right.
Yes.
Because then I guess with that movie, you would start at the end and move your way all the way to the beginning or something, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how that movie was.
In like 5-minute segments.
And so this movie is unfortunately the same way.
Yes.
This already warns.
It's like a Tarantino movie, the way that like it's like kind of cut up like that, but if like Tarantino was on acid while he was directing.
I mean, this movie has like so many cool elements, but the issue is that it's almost like a dissertation from a physicist or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like if you were like gonna explain to me the blueprints of the Hadron Collider, I would not get that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I would say that this is the Hadron Collider of movies, but it is definitely warrants like multiple watches.
I could see that. Yeah, it's like a story that kind of deals with time and multiple universes, but then is being told in chunks by somebody in the present time trying to explain it to somebody who's writing it as a book.
Right, yeah. Yeah, this is almost, if you guys have never like listened to the No Sleep podcast, the actual story of this is very similar to one of the stories in that series.
Okay.
With the whole bugs coming into different universes and stuff. That's what it reminded me of. But then it started throwing at you the concepts of time with this soy sauce liquid that they had deemed to name it.
Yes. What better name for a drug than soy sauce?
Yeah, especially coming from a white guy whose name is David Wong. And it's really funny because Jimmy Wong is one of the actors in here. And if you guys don't know who Jimmy Wong is, he was in Mulan.
Right.
And he is a very active Magic the Gathering player.
Yes.
And so I wonder like how that went when he first read the script. Was he like, wait, there's a white guy named David Wong in here? Like, are you guys sure? Do you think he like went for that role first? He was like, David Wong, Jimmy Wong, I got this.
Yes, this part was written for me. Oh, I have to be a white guy to do that? Can I be his friend?
I totally was surprised by his death at the end of this movie. I was like, but it's practical effects, which we always give bonus points.
It is, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, like, really, we really can't. It would be really difficult to do this in our normal format, but we will go with a very, very cut and dry overview, and we'll just try to talk about it, and hopefully you guys enjoy that format for this episode.
Right, and when you don't, then you should go rent this movie or buy it, and then watch it, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm still equally as confused.
All right. Yeah. So, so our main character, who isn't named John, is named David.
Yes.
David Wong. Colby has reminded me that this was actually an alias that he has taken on to confuse his would-be pursuers.
Right.
Right. But he does meet up with Paul Giamatti, who is a writer/journalist.
Yep.
And he's like, I have a story to tell you, and this is all real. Paul Giamatti, of course, doing what he does, is very skeptical.
Right, being an investigative reporter, he wants to get to the truth, and he thinks this guy is like a parlor like magician, kind of like a parlor psychic. Right, because
to prove to this to Paul Giamatti, he's like, okay, you have 83 cents in your pocket, three quarters, a nickel, and 3 pennies, and then he tells the year of each of those
of the pennies
currencies. Yes, right. And then so Paul Giamatti looks into this thing. He's like, that's where he's like, oh, you're some sort of magician. I don't even remember having change in my pocket.
Right. Yep.
And so Paul Giamatti is now at this point very interested in what he has to say, because before that he had told a chunk of the story where he's like, oh, I was fighting a skinhead zombie and I had cut his head off with my axe, but my axe broke, so I went to the hardware store and I had to explain that the red stuff on there was actually barbecue sauce. But then my axe broke again, and then so that was awkward. So I had to go back to the same said hardware store and explain, hey, the head of my axe broke. I need a new head. A lot of the movie is just like that. It's like
you got to keep going because he's like, so this explains the entire movie, because then the zombie comes in and is like, hey, I got to kill you. And that's the axe that you tried to kill me with. And he's like, but if I've replaced the handle and the head, is it technically still the same axe that I killed you with?
Oh, is this like?
And he's like, and if that makes sense to you, then so will this story.
It's almost like a philosophical question. Like,
yes.
It's on that if a tree falls and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yep.
And if you think it does, then you'll see why this story will make sense to you. Oh man, so yeah. So that was the setup for his actual story.
Yes.
Okay. And so we have David Wong, who is our main character, and his friend is actually the one named John.
Right.
And so John is a sort of, I guess you would say he has a hero complex.
Oh, definitely.
Right. And he's been in a lot of things, the actor John. But David is more of like, he just goes along with the flow. But he's also like, that sounds too bothersome. Much like everyone in real life. You know, the older you get, the more you don't want to go out. And so you hope people cancel on you, and that's what David is.
I like a good explanation on that is David is like, they meet this girl, and John's like, we gotta help her, and she's like, yeah, I have this a boyfriend, and he's been tormenting me, and
she has like a little scratch.
Yeah, and David's like, yeah, I don't really want to help that, but I can give you the name of a good woman's home or like women's shelter.
Or he's like, you should probably call the cops, right? And then when like John shows David the bruise, it's a very tiny bruise,
right?
But then she drops the bomb like, oh, but my boyfriend's been dead for 3 months. And so they go to help her out, but when they get into the basement, they're like looking around. They see that there is this fridge filled with meat, it looks delicious. I was like, oh man, so much meat. And then the ghost somehow inhabits or becomes this meat monster after the girl is found out to actually be a ghost.
Yes.
And then this is where you find out that ghosts appear differently to other people.
Right, yeah.
Because John says, oh, she's like perfect. She looks like Nancy. But David is like, Nancy is like 5'10", blonde with blue eyes. What are you talking about?
This girl's like 5'2" with dark hair and
right?
boobs.
And so they're like, she's a ghost. And apparently, like, it kind of looks like the girl that John is into. Yeah. The one that we find out later that she had gotten into a relationship with. And so this is where we sort of find out the mechanics of John dies at the end with how ghosts work. And then apparently this ghost was actually after a priest. It's like, it kind of, I think he's like one of those televangelist priests.
Yes.
But he calls the priest and he hands the phone, and then he must be really powerful because he's able to exorcise this ghost over the phone like some super priest.
And you don't get to hear that conversation. You just get to see the
exorcisms will go down. Yeah. And then all the meat.
And let me tell you, that is a weirdly terrifying meat monster.
It's how vegans see meat. You know, I'm gonna let you. I subscribe to the Gordon Ramsay that a vegan could never hurt me because he's powered by leaves. No, yeah, it does fall apart in a very wasteful fashion because it just falls to the floor.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so gross that its fingers are these huge bratwursts. Like, oh man, so this is where we learn that John and David are into the supernatural world.
Yes.
Right. This is what John is trying to, or David is trying to explain to Paul Giamatti. But Giamatti's interested in the story, but he's like, we could just write it as a nonfiction.
Yeah. Right. We could just write this as a book instead of just as
like an actual piece.
Yeah.
Because I will, and most definitely, he's right. He will get laughed at by his peers in his community. You're like, oh man, Paul's lost it. But David goes outside to his truck and he tells Paul Giamatti, he's like, you see this cage look in front of you, right? It's an empty cage.
Right.
All right. Now, what I need you to do is look at me, but then without turning your head, look out of your peripherals and tell me what you see. And of course, like Kobe, if you're in this situation, would you be like, this guy's nuts?
Oh, yeah, totally. Right? Yeah.
But the moment that Paul Giamatti...
Right, because they had already mentioned the drugs, so he's like, oh, yeah, this guy's seeing things.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He's on heroin or whatever.
Right.
Whatever he's calling soy sauce.
Yeah, is that the new name for black tar heroin? And so, yeah, at this point, David is just really trying to prove to Paul Giamatti, like, no, I'm not crazy. This is just how, like, this soy sauce... The fact that they call it the sauce is like, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's like, this is letting me perceive different dimensions and different beings.
Right.
But regular people can see it too, but it's always at the corner of your eye.
Yeah. And he's like, usually people don't see this kind of stuff unless they're high or they're drunk.
Yeah.
Or really open-minded.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because when Paul Giamatti looks at the cage through his peripherals, he sees some sort of inside-out dog.
I was going to say it's like a weird brain spider.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it looks like an animal that's been turned inside out, right? Yeah. Oh, God. I just remember there was like some movie where they did that to a pet, and I was like, oh, that's disturbing. I forgot.
I was just thinking that same thing, and I was trying to figure out what it was.
But I think it was like a horror comedy. But I was like,
Yes.
that's pretty dark for a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, so yeah, Paul Giamatti freaks out, and that's where David tells Paul Giamatti, like, oh, you could only see it if you're these things. So he starts to explain to Paul Giamatti how him and John met. John was in a band, and one of his opening lines for her song was, hey, I once knew a guy. Just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as David is like, at the concert, everyone's getting beer. This is where we meet Jimmy Wong, who then says to a girl that like who is getting bullied because she's an amputee,
Right.
But
not. It's like dummy questions, kind of bullying, like insulting.
it's not a bully. Yeah, it's
not like one arm,
Yeah, he's just very, I guess, ignorant about it.
Right.
Because David is like, oh, hey, do you need help finding your dog? And she's like, no, it's cool. And then Jimmy Wong is like, hey, my grandpa lost his foot in Vietnam, and he has like what was it called? He didn't say phantasm stuff. He's like, it's called phantom pain.
Yeah.
And then she, understandably walks away crying.
Yeah.
But this is where David meets this Jamaican guy who, like, everyone's like, oh my God, he's like levitating. And David, being the skeptic, is like, oh, what? He levitated 6 feet off the ground. But then the Jamaican guy is like, oh, I'm not going to. I was about to try to do the accent. Nope, not that kind of podcast. Not in 2020.
It's like, do you sound like Jar Jar? What is going
on? So he just says like, oh, let me tell you about your dream last night, and hits the nail right in the coffin.
Yeah.
Right.
And dreams are weird. So like, yeah, that's a difficult thing to guess.
Right. Yeah, and then but somehow he gets a needle stuck into him, right? And he finds the girl's dog, and he's like, oh, hey, let's go find your owner.
Well, no, so
okay, yeah.
So then he has to work, so he goes home, and then John and some of the other people go to a party go back to like a house party with the Jamaican guy, and that's when John takes the soy sauce. And
accident. Yeah.
No, on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
And then the next day, David thinks John's having an overdose, and he finds the needle, and he puts it in his pocket because he's like, this is no drug I've ever seen before, so I'm just got to take this so we could, because when I take you to the hospital, they're going to have to look at this to know what you're on. And when he sticks it in his pocket, he accidentally pokes himself in the leg.
Yeah, because that's where you want to put a needle, an uncovered needle. But no, he does find the dog, right? That's when he goes home, and then John calls him, right? Okay. Yeah, but then weirdly enough, though, someone keeps calling David, and this is where we find out that he actually got struck by the needle later on, right? And so a lot of things are happening in the middle of this movie. John is perceived to be dead while David is getting interrogated by a cop.
Right.
And then John calls David and he's like, hey, you got to escape while everything is going on. So it's like John from the future or something is calling David from the past through the sauce.
Yes.
Because
and then later talks to him through a hot dog.
Which he paid $3.50 for. That's expensive for a street dog.
Yeah.
But it's a street dog.
Yeah.
For if he had just bought a regular dog, he could have got a Coke and some bag of chips.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
And so at this point, David does not really understand what's happening to him right now after taking the sauce.
Right.
Right. And so, he goes to the Jamaican guy's house to find out what's going on. But it apparently is a crime scene or had already gotten cleaned up. Right. And David starts to see the future because he sees the detective that was interrogating him shoot him.
Right.
And then he gets like a lot of flashes of like things. Like this flash kind of reminded me of Chew. Did you ever read that comic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently the gun that he gets shot with, or the bullet he gets shot with, is actually defective.
Right.
It's
because he sees the past and interferes with it, and then in doing that, at the bullet manufacturing place, a fly gets stuck in the bullet press, and so then like the bullet won't fire correctly.
Yeah. It is like interstellar levels of just
yes.
It's like, oh yeah, you know what that you know what the sauce is? It's the ability to let you go into the fourth dimension.
Right.
Boom.
But it's a living thing, and it chooses its host a little bit like the Venom symbiote. Like if you're not compatible, it kills you, and that's why most of the other people died.
Well, it just depends on which Venom symbiote are we talking. Are you talking about like Tom Hardy?
Right. Yes. So he's Tom Hardy, and he's compatible. Where like the homeless people that were being tested on all just exploded.
Yeah, and so at this point, the detective thinks he had killed John. The detective, or David, the detective wants to eradicate this because even though he is not a man of science, he is a man of religion.
Right.
And he feels like this thing that's happening is going to kill the entire world.
Right, because the sauce symbiote creature is trying to stop the white mini moths that infest people and then explode into spores that
it's bad
that in 100 days can destroy all life on a planet.
Yeah, there you go. And you don't know if the sauce is like a symbiote. It's like the natural enemy of this thing, the destroyer of worlds. It's so weird. This movie is very difficult. It like I said, it's almost like a dissertation for
yeah.
And so at this point, David somehow he gets kidnapped by one of the little white kids that like to act gangster.
Yes.
Because he gets infested out when the detective tells him, yeah, Taylor got infested and now he's out here and he's gonna explode soon. And so he gets kidnapped along with Jimmy Wong and Amy, the girl, the amputee girl.
Right.
And a dead John.
And dead John, yeah.
And his dog. I have no idea. I don't know how he picked up the dog.
Well, because it's Amy's dog, and he found the dog the first time he went to go get John because he thought John was having, and he was like, "Oh, that's Amy's dog," and the dog just started following him. But then the dog also does bust through the house, driving a car at one point and saved his life from a fire.
Because yeah, and so when we learn that the dog is in there, the dog touches John. And John apparently had linked up with this dog through the sauce, and had carried John's consciousness with him.
Right.
Because he knew that his body was going to get destroyed or something.
Yes. So that's when John had died.
Yeah.
But then getting shocked by the dog's nose transferred him back into his body, and then
John is alive again. And so at this point, they take him to the mall, where Taylor is trying to open up a window or a doorway to another dimension.
Yes,
and he needed Amy to open it for him. They don't explain why yet, right?
Right.
But earlier, David had sent John a FedEx to a mall because John said, "Hey, send this to over here," and it left a note inside of it that says, "Hey, John, go buy the trash." And Taylor, who I guess at this point I thought he also had the sauce, but he was just a different dimensional being, right?
No, he was infected with the white moths.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the white moths and the sauce were the same thing.
Oh no, they're like nemesis.
So now it makes sense, right? For me. And so he goes outside, but then he is met with the detective who brutally kills him with his shotgun. and then sets his body on fire. The detective now goes out inside the mall and is like, "Come on, kids, let's go." But this is where we learned the detective was also infested with the moths.
Right, because they're like a spore. So when he shot the person, I'm assuming at that point the spores kind of came out and infected him.
Well, no, I think he got it. What's it called? During when he first went to the Jamaican guy's house.
Okay, the first time he saw Justin White.
Or Taylor.
Yeah.
Justin White is a guy we know, Kobe.
I know, but I thought that was somebody's name was.
I think that was Jimmy Wong's name.
Taylor White? Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
Because yes. It made me think of that person that we know when I heard that, and I was like, whoa, he's in this movie. But you're right. I think it's Taylor White.
And so at this point, the white moths burst through his eyes, which was super gross. Super good effects.
Yeah.
We love us some practical effects. And then so the car crashes, and then all of the moths now go into Jimmy Wong.
Yes.
Right? And Jimmy is like, guys, it's all right. You know, and it kind of reminded me of the scene from The Crazies, the most recent one where the deputy got infected, and he's like, let me just come with you guys until I go crazy. And then so David tells Jimmy, he's like, hey, why don't you go to the freeway, try to flag us a car, and we can get out of here. And then probably the smartest decision ever made in any movie. He shoots him in the head.
Right.
You know, it's sad, you know, but it has to be done. Yeah. And it is done very graphically. And then so he brings Jimmy Wong's body next to the detective's car, and then they both shoot it. That way all of the moths can die in that situation.
Yes.
They head back into the mall to try to find this door and open it, and they give Amy, the amputee girl, a pair of 3D glasses.
Right, because she hasn't taken the sauce, so she can't see it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how the 3D glasses work, but it makes her be able to see this
and it's
mystical door.
Yeah. And so they're trying to open it, but they can't seem to get a hand on it.
What?
Because it's like corporeal,
yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
But this is, I don't know if this is a bad joke or whatever, but they ask Amy to open it because she has the phantom syndrome.
Yes.
And then so when she puts her hand near the door, her hand is...
It's a missed hand, but it is there.
And she's able to open it. And this is where David and John go into this other dimension.
Right.
And they're kind of weirded out. It looks like an underground thing, but there's like this black pillar.
Right, like a monolith kind of.
Yeah, almost a Space Odyssey monolith.
Yep.
Right. But is it the sauce? Is it like the source of the sauce?
It is a
oh no, that was another
transport.
Yeah, there you go. Because I remember they had to go into that one as well.
Yes.
Right. But this is where we see that the televangelist is actually there, along with the cult member that had gotten into John's car before as well.
Right.
And they explain the situation like, hey, you have to go to this dimension. You got to fix it because everything is going kind of crazy over there.
Yes. Yep.
And for some reason, so when they get in there, we probably get one of the best scenes in this movie, and it's just a whole bunch of women topless.
But they're all wearing like fat man face masks.
It's okay, you know. It's like a paper bag, whatever.
and the leader kind of explains it was like, oh, we didn't want you to be like scared by us, so this is what we chose to wear: a fat man face mask and no clothes, so that way you would be most comfortable with us.
John was like, yes. John was like, yes, I am very much more comfortable with this. You know, honestly, for a small production, I don't know how they got so many women to just come in there topless.
Maybe it was like, you guys are all going to be wearing masks. No one's going to see who you are.
Yeah, but nah. Like if someone was like, hey, I need you to show Wang in this movie. Don't worry though, it's only going to be the Wang. I was like, yeah, but then it's still mine. I don't know if I want that like on the internet.
That is true. That is true.
Oh man, but they explained that they have prophesized. Thank you. Jeez, some words are just hard, guys. And there's like a church of David and John.
Yes.
But what was their whole mission there? Do you remember?
So they were supposed to go because they were going to
feed the Cthulhu monster.
Yes.
Because that was their god. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then at this point is when they at the church they explain that this is a alternate timeline dimension.
Yes.
Like a mirror universe, because everything in Earth and this universe was exactly the same until 1851 or something.
I think 1867.
Where this scientist was trying to crossbreed horses and bulls, and in the Earth dimension, it gets kicked and killed by the bull.
Yeah.
And in this dimension, he succeeds and then goes on to create computers and everything out of bio matter.
But it is very H.P. Lovecraftian at this point, because so they explain
right, because he makes Cthulhu, and then Cthulhu is the smartest.
Well, yeah, because it keeps eating people, right? And
yes,
absorbing its knowledge.
Anybody who's brilliant, they feed to Cthulhu, and then Cthulhu just gets smarter
and smart and more powerful.
Yeah.
But David and John are like, yeah, we're not really cool with this. And so before they hopped into this universe, they actually bring a bomb.
So it is a bomb that was created during the Cold War that makes a small explosion, but then covers a large amount of area with a highly hallucinogenic drug.
Oh, is that what it was? I was like, yeah, that's a bomb, bro.
So they're like, it probably won't kill the monster, but it'll definitely mess it up.
I think it was supposed to kill the monster, right? Because unfortunately the dog had to sacrifice itself, which is probably on top of there with like saddest deaths in movies,
right?
Because not only is it already a best boy, it's not only is it already a good doggo, a doge. It sacrifices itself for humanity,
right?
And so, at this point, David is still talking to Paul Giamatti, and Giamatti is like, well, like, what happened after that? And he's like, then we came back. Yeah, we shut down that universe, so that universe is done. Yep. No more Cthulhu monster over there. And Paul Giamatti's convinced. He's right. Like, oh my God, we have to go, wild with this.
Right, and not only that, but we also need to take the leftover sauce that you have and take it to a science lab and have them analyze it to figure out what exactly it is. And, he's like, and if they don't believe us, what? We'll inject a rat and it'll float 6 feet in the air. And
they have to listen then.
Yeah.
Right? And David is like, he's pretty psyched about this. He's like, we need to get the truth out. Yeah. And then he's like, are you sure you can handle that type of heat? And then Paul Giamatti says, I've been doing this job for like 40 years. When I first started, they were out here calling me the N-word. Yep. And then David his face goes blank. He's like, why would they call you the N-word?
You're like
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, you're a middle-aged fat white man.
And then that's where David finds out that he's been talking to a ghost this entire time. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, David is just like, you know what? This is my fault. When I heard you on the phone, I imagined you this way. And so when they go outside into the trunk, Paul Giamatti, who is actually a black guy, is dead, headless in his trunk. Yeah. And Paul Giamatti, not noticing that he had been dead, has been being a ghost, driving around, which is still kind of wild, right? Right. And he's like, oh my God, the people that are trying to stop me knew that you contacted me, and this is what's happening right now. And then Paul Giamatti's freaking out. He's freaking out, but the realization, or him realizing that he's actually dead, helps him move on.
Yeah, because at the beginning he's like, they're going through the steps of denial.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually he's like, but I don't want to be dead. I don't want to be I don't want to just be part of your imagination. And then it's like poof, and he's gone. Because he realizes he's dead.
And so that's almost the end of it. But then we get to where, we do find out that he starts a relationship with Amy, that he still continues on today. John's still alive, and he plays basketball with him once a week. And then we get to a scene where they're at the basketball courts. This orb comes out, and he's like, oh, it's another dimensional pocket. And then he asks David, like, you want to go check it out? He's like, nah. Which is understandable. Again, like, I don't know who John thinks he is. He's not Captain America. He's just a normal dude on some sauce.
John looks like he looks a little Helmsworthy, like he could be like their cousin. Because I thought that I was like he looks like a Helmsworth that's not one of the two famous ones.
Yeah, he looks like a far distant cousin in America from America. No, but then like David accidentally throws his ball in there, and then so John goes in to get it, and then David goes in to get it. John's like, dude, where have you been? It's like been 2 hours. And so this is, again, the concept of time moves differently in different dimensions, right? Yep. And then all of a sudden, these guys in these rocket pods come out and are like, you have been prophesized to come here. And then David and John are like, yeah, we got to get back. We'll come here to save the world.
Of course, we'll save your world, but we have to go back to our world to get our equipment.
Right.
We'll be back.
And as they're moving away, the guy's still talking, but they're like, nah. Because everyone wants to be a hero, but when it actually gets down to it, it's just too much work.
Right.
Look at that tiny, European girl that's trying to be an environmentalist right now. It's a lot of work, but good for her. She's making waves, She's doing a lot more important things than I am.
We are reviewing movies and inspiring imaginations.
And then the movie kind of just ends there, right?
Yeah. This
movie is a whirlwind. It is a ride. It is definitely a roller coaster. Kobe, can you talk what are some of the parts of this movie that?
Okay, so one thing we didn't talk about. They've been arrested. John dies in one room.
Yeah.
One interrogation room. David's in the other. When the police officer goes to check on the body, that's when the phone call comes, and it's John. He's like, hey, are you in jail? And he's like, you just died. What happened? And he's like, okay, no, don't worry about that. You got to get out of here. Just in the commotion of them, figuring out why I'm dead, you could just leave. And he's like, no, there's a guard standing right next to me. And he's like, no, look in the mirror. That's not a real guard. And he looks in the mirror and he's not there.
Yeah.
And then the guard's mustache turns into a
butterfly.
A bat. Yeah. It flies around the room and then attacks him. And then he rips the guard's arm off and hits him with it. It was just I was like, that's you haven't gotten too far into the story at that point. And it's just this makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't get this movie down chronologically. There's just so many things happening.
Right.
Oh man, I mean, did you have any favorite parts of this movie?
The mustache was big. We said, the practical effects on the death scenes, the head chopping off, at the zombie at the beginning, the eyeball exploding was cool. Even the moths. I mean, I know that was probably a little bit different. When they first show the sauce being alive, I like it's like moving on the tip of the
needle.
The needle.
Yeah, very symbiotic like.
Right, that's what totally made me think of Venom.
Oh, right.
When I saw that.
Oh man, yeah. I want to pick out some favorite parts, but it's just like it just seems like so jumbled up to be that I had to watch it a couple more times.
Right,
because it feels, I don't know, it feels like a mixture of like a H.P. Lovecraft like piece with a little bit of like Odd Thomas in there with the ghost stuff.
Right, but then it's got a little. It's some of the parts are a little like almost Kevin Smith kind of.
Yeah, you could.
Because if anybody's seen Yoga Hosers when they're fighting like the little
meat monster.
Like there was parts that seemed very like this was like if Kevin Smith was writing a Cthulhu story. Like I felt that's kind of how this was.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. The way that I saw it was I saw a lot of like Edgar Wright inspiration in there as far as like the way they edit the cuts and how they wanted to tell the story. But now that you say like a Kevin Smith Cthulhu, that fits a lot more. Yeah, I just felt like maybe the visual style was a lot like Edgar Wright.
No, I can see that.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who Edgar Wright is, it's the guys who he's the director for the movies like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and with Simon and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Right, even like camera angle and stuff.
Yeah,
very similar to that.
So I feel like I know this is a book. I don't know if it's like a trilogy or something.
So it is a trilogy. Oh. So this is the first one, and so there's the John and David trilogy. The second book is called something like This Book is Full of Spiders, and then the third book is called like What the Hell Did I Just Read? And I would have absolutely loved for this to not be a dump month movie and to get a full trilogy out of this. So I would have been incredible.
Well, I think if we got the other two movies, it would piece everything together, right? Because maybe that's the weird feeling that I'm getting is that it's very much empty.
Yeah,
right. I feel like as far as like if it was like a jigsaw, I'd only have like the corners.
Right. Yeah, like it totally needs to be finished. Really, like after I'm a comic book reader, not necessarily like a novel reader, but like literally after watching this, I am interested in picking up the other books and reading them.
Because that's the only way we're ever gonna finish it, right?
Right. Yeah, because now it's been 10 years,
something like that. I mean, even on YouTube, like I wanted to like get somebody to break this movie down even more, and the videos on this is pretty sparse.
Right.
And there's like maybe like a couple that are on there that are only like 3 minutes, and I'm like, oh, you're not going to explain anything. Even me talking about the plot with a lot of holes in it took me like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I watched this with Tubi. Thank you, Tubi, for always being awesome. But by the time this airs, it probably will no longer be on Tubi because I think it said it was expiring at the end of the month.
Oh, man. It is on other platforms as well, but Tubi is a awesome platform for you guys to just watch free movies. And no, this isn't a sponsorship. We just love talking about stuff.
Yeah.
But you know it is a sponsorship. Right, Raise. How do you say it?
Raise energy drinks. Yep. Join the Raise Rebellion.
0 sugar, 0 carbs, and all the caffeine pump you need to make sure your workout gets you nice and yoked.
They actually taste good. I mean, some energy drinks taste like, this is an energy drink.
Yeah.
But this is like, I don't have to just chug this because I need to get rid of it.
Yeah. That one is a sponsorship. That one we still haven't gotten the thing that we have to say actually, so we're just making our stuff up.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, back to the movie, guys. Kobe, is there anything that you didn't like about this movie?
No. There's nothing I didn't like about this movie. This is like 100% like the type of movie I would just watch every day. Every movie that is like this, I want to see. I love a movie that's a little confusing and a little like all over the place, and it's a little funny and a little silly, but still has heart and still has got story. Yeah, this is the little of everything that I like best in a movie.
Well, as far as characters, how did you feel about David and John?
Great. I mean, like John was like the perfect kind of, like you said, like arrogant kind of hero complex, the lead singer for a just crappy band. Three-armed Sally. Yeah, like it's everybody knows somebody like this. David's the same way. Like everybody knows,
but he's like the total opposite.
Yeah, and it's the like the perfect introvert extrovert like relationship. Yep.
Because I feel like the limited time that they had to condense so much. Right. That it doesn't, the pacing sort of feels rushed.
I could almost see this being stretched as far as being like a
2-hour
Netflix like 8-episode season or something.
Yeah. Oh, see, that would be an awesome way for them to continue this.
Yeah.
Is to do like 8 to 10 episodes for each book.
Yep.
And that way you could absorb all the weirdness and the paradoxes.
A little chunk at a time.
Yeah, a little chunk. I mean, let's be real. There's going to be people out there that like, oh, this is what I'm doing today. Click. Which, I think we're all guilty of, right?
Right. Oh, especially now that there's Netflix. I've done that. And let me tell you, I watched the first season, like total side story. First season of 24 when it first came out, and when it's one episode a week, and that's supposed to be a 24-hour day, it's one episode a week, that thing seems 100% plausible. When you watch it back to back, you're like, there is no way that 24 major bad things happen to somebody in one 24-hour period, because something horrible has to happen every episode. And it's like, that guy got like kidnapped twice in 24 hours. How does that even happen?
And he never even went to the bathroom. I think a lot of people don't figure that out. We got to start putting bathroom breaks in movies, or in shows. Yeah, no. So you could there's definitely an avenue there for you to make this into a Netflix show.
Yeah, because
I think it's awesome. In Netflix, man, they're like pretty wild on like giving a lot of these directors just straight up freedom. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. If you guys don't know this, I know this is coming out in 2021, but we filmed this back in 2020. And if you guys don't know this, so the Chappelle Show actually came onto Netflix. Right. But Dave Chappelle called Netflix and is like, "Hey, can you guys take this down?" Because he doesn't make money from it. Which is very understandable, it's his property and all that stuff, but technically like CBS I believe owns it, and so he doesn't get money from it, and he's not particularly proud of it anymore, right? Because of like all the things that he left the show for, and Netflix took it down. They they respected him, and so I just feel like a lot of directors have lately been going very, not even recently, but like in the last like 3-4 years, they've been going to Netflix because they actually have creative freedom.
Right.
And they take a lot of chances on a lot of these shows.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately some of them get canceled, and now people are just left like, dick in their hand. I always love that like saying. I feel like it was like an old person that said it, and it just stuck. Apparently another old slang is the duck's nuts.
Interesting.
Right. That's why I heard that from a show. The guy is like, "No, that absolutely cannot be an old saying." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Nuts."
Ducks. This movie was the duck's nuts. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick that one up.
I was gonna be like, what? Do ducks have nuts? Oh man. Okay. So if you guys don't know this, we're coming up to our hour, and we always do our reviews at the end. If this is the first time you guys are coming onto the show, welcome. But we do our reviews in 4 sections, which is Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Box Collection. Now, unfortunately, Ultimate Box Collection would be the trilogy of this series.
This would be a 100% Ultimate Box Collection if there was all 3.
Right. But Colby, where you at?
I think I could probably go Blu-ray on this one. I would love to hear some like director's commentary on here, and a little bit of side story and some extras. I'm not sure what they'd have as extras, but who knows?
Right. It'd probably be like talking with David Wong, the person who wrote the series,
right?
Who had his Hitchcock moment by inserting his own name into the series.
Yeah. And apparently like this book originally, he released it for free online after he wrote it, and got like 70,000 downloads. And then a publishing company picked it up and had him remove it. I
would have been like, no, it's already out there. But the second and third,
it was something like that. After the movie came out, he then re-released it with the first half of the second book or something like that. Mm-hmm. So like definitely like doesn't seem like he's in it for the money. He's in it for the joy of, or the confusion of having him read your story, or you reading his story.
He pretty much he got the what's it called, the 50 Shades treatment with at least one movie,
right?
Because the 50 Shades series was like a fan fiction off Twilight or something like that, some BS like that. But this guy obviously he wrote it for fun. And people liked it, and it's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
sounds like a good guy. Probably wrote it while he was in school or something. For me, I would probably go Blu-ray too. I mean, this movie is pretty enjoyable. I like all of the weird, quirky likeness of it. It kind of feels like we harken back to like the 80s type of risk that movie studios used to pick up on.
Right. Yes.
Because there's definitely like a ghost possessing a meat monster. And then we have time paradoxes, dimensional travel, alternate universes, parallel universes. There's so many themes in this that I felt like it needed to be made into
It's like
3
a
movies.
whole season of like
Supernatural. Which just sadly ended. I'm super broken, guys. But yeah, it feels like a mashup of Supernatural, the Stranger Things,
right?
type of like feel for it. And it's unfortunate that movie studios don't want to take risk on like properties like this, where I think it has such high replay value.
Definitely. Like kind of say like we were saying, it's like like this would be something that a Netflix would pick up and try, because they're willing to not have to put that much money into something that has to go to a theater and has to and like I feel like this is kind of a culty movie that if they on a streaming service got released could
pick up.
Could
Steam.
Really pick up, yeah.
Just all you have to do, you just have to hit the right notes. The little nostalgia factor that Stranger Things hit.
Right.
We have that one Austrian show called Dark. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that's about I think parallel universes too. I watched the first season. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yep.
But then I watch it when I cook, so I don't have to listen. So I have to hear weird English dubs. I don't know why dubs are so bad now.
Because maybe they always were.
No. You know what? I might just be biased because Steve Bloom has like that sultry voice. But then again, like Johnny Young Bosch, who was previously the Black Ranger, has done a lot of voice work, and his, I think they just stopped trying to find voices that fit the characters.
Right.
And they're just like, just throw this guy in there. Like, it doesn't fit. What's it called? Madison Harold Order.
Because I think some studios will contract out voice actor, and then they'll be like,
yeah.
on your contract, we can get you up to like 8 voices, and we're just going to work you as much as we can for a year until your contract's up.
Maybe that's it, you know, but maybe in the 90s they just like tried really hard to like match the voices to the characters.
Right.
But then again, like I said, you could put Steve Bloom in a lot of places and he's like, oh, that's so sultry. I've actually been wanting to take one of his classes just on voice acting. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah. So I'm at the Blu-ray. Colby's at the Blu-ray. We both love this movie.
Yeah. So you guys all should see this.
Right. Well, we're getting to the end of it, guys. If you guys want to check us out, hit us up, contact us. All of our contacts are down below, with our Facebook page, our email, our Twitter handle. We also have a couple like affiliate like Amazon links down there that, you know, you guys don't have to buy that stuff, but if you click on them, you know, that helps us out. Even like a little bit counts and all that stuff.
Definitely. I mean, we need new speakers and we need new, a new computer eventually here. So
yes,
we're not trying to get rich off this. We just want to be the best quality we can for you.
Right. You know, hopefully soon we start doing this on YouTube too. That way you guys can see how goofy we actually are, and you can see all these hand movements that I do. What do I do with these hands?
Why does Colby always pick his nose? No, I don't.
And we'll probably start drinking on there. I don't know.
Oh, yes, these would be fun if we started drinking.
But yeah, check us out, Colby.
Yeah, like I said, just like us, share us. Leave a comment, anything you want to see, anything that you like about us, like you don't like about us. If you're like, oh man, Colby sounds like he's got ping pong balls in his mouth, let me know.
Why can't Barry say some words? Because it's hard. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like anything, even just to listen, man. We definitely appreciate it. We really enjoy doing this, so we hope you enjoy listening to it as much as we like doing it.
Right. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on the Music for Podcast 3 album, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.